I think this property, in terms of being an investment, I think it is. Hey guys, I'm Kane from Source Estate and I've decided to spend a few episodes looking at property opportunities up north. This episode we have a property in Ensley Road. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say it with a Scouser accent because it's in Liverpool. And we're going to see, again, this is kind of the first property that I found that had been sold, and we're going to see if it would make good for a property investment. So let's jump into it. This is Ensley Road. It says Brighton Les Sands, but it's in Liverpool. It's on for 125, and here are the photos. Now, if you know me, you probably know that I like to find properties that have potential to be renovated and to up that equity. And this one definitely needs a good update. It looks fine on the outside, but the inside, that needs a lot of work. So great, we have a property that might have a lot of potential. The next thing to do is we've got to find out what it's actually worth, but more importantly, what is it going to be worth once we've done it up? So to save you time, I have already done it here. So there we go, we've got a current market comparable. Now I didn't have loads of these, I literally just found one, and the photos don't make it look bad at all. But if we go through, it needs a new kitchen. There's something happening with the ceiling up there. New kitchen, flooring, wallpaper. I think R1 is probably a bit slightly worse, but it needs all the same stuff to be done to it. Same thing with the bathroom, right? But what's more important is the end value comparables. So what you do is you find all these for what they sold and how big they are, and then you divide them together, and that gives you our price per square foot. You find a ton of those, and then you average them, and then times it by our property. And here's some examples, right? So that looks great, especially these photos. Fantastic. What about this one here? Great, looks like it's just been built. Perfect. So based on the comparables, our property is currently 13% below market value. Fantastic. And the end value, it could most likely sell for 180,000 based on the square footage. That's fantastic because our property is on for 125, which means it gives us room to do up the property and maybe make a profit. So for the refurb cost, I've done flooring. I did have plastering, then I took it away. You probably won't need plastering, but all the rooms repainted. You need a big rewire, kitchen, bathroom, boiler, rewire, and I've also added an extra 10K for anything miscellaneous, anything that I didn't catch. 10K for that. And that gives us a GDC of 43,000. Again, I'm not perfect with the costings up north. I know they're a bit cheaper, but the way I've accounted for that is I've did my normal costs and then just took off 20%, and that gave us 43,000 for the build cost. So 125 plus 143, we're getting a profit. Also going to put into account we need to pay other fees, right? Stamp duty, legals, an agent fee. So total investment is 176,000. But 176, but we can sell for 180. We're not getting much profit, are we? We're making a profit of almost £4,000. So with all that money put in and then selling it for that, we're only going to get a return on investment of like 2%. So 125 is definitely, the price is too high. Even though we're getting the property for, 13% below market value, if we wanted to do it as a flip, we wouldn't be able to make any profit. We would make profit if we could probably, I think 100K is where we're at. Yeah, 100K, then you're getting a flip profit of about 30,000, which would be a great flip. Return on investment, 20,000. It would probably only take 6 months to do the whole project. So if they can negotiate it down to 100K, this is an amazing find. However, that's not where we're at right now. We've got 125. So let's say we buy it for 125, we put the costs in, and we don't sell the property, we want to rent it out, right? So at this point, you've basically just brought a property back up to market value. But maybe that's not so bad, because maybe the idea isn't just to get a bunch of equity out of the property, maybe it's to get a better return on your money. So as a buy to let in this particular area, looks like places go for about $950 a month. So we take off a bit for management and maintenance. We're getting a profit per year of £8,500, which is a return on investment of 4.82, which is great, really, if you compare it down here to the south. Especially if you can get in with a social housing company and do it as a buy-to-let, you're going to make a lot more money doing it that way. As an HMO, can it work as an HMO? Oh no, I did check. Yeah, you couldn't make it as an HMO because you wouldn't know where to put the bedroom, right? There's all these entry points. It wouldn't really work. So no HMO. However, it's in Liverpool, and Liverpool get so much tourism, right? So immediately I'm thinking service accommodation. Now I know service accommodation seems to be like the success of my videos, right? I feel like the majority of my videos, you look at service accommodation and it looks like it's the savior of all property, right? Service accommodation doesn't work everywhere. It's also its own business, right? So you need to know if you're going to service accommodation, you'd have to spend some money on some furniture and run it as a business. So it takes a lot more work, whereas a buy-to-let is a lot more simple. So how does it work as an SA? If we look at our report over here, then it looks like we're getting an average daily rate of £107 per day with an average occupancy of 63%. So if we plug that into my spreadsheet, we take a little bit of money off for bookings, maintenance and management. Now we're profiting almost £12,000 a year, with a return on investment of 6.75%. Fantastic. And if we decide we want to refinance, let's try and pull more of that money out so we can put it into another investment. We are looking, as a buy-to-let, that's not gonna make any money, right? We can pull out 75% and we're still making money, but we're only making £400 a year profit. Not really worth it at all. However, as a service accommodation, because you're making way more money than the mortgage goes up, we pull out 75% of the money, we leave in £41,000, which would give us a profit per year of £4,000. We pull out 135,000, 135,500, right? So you get all that money, you can put it into your next property and you're still profiting from that property and also the appreciation of the property over the long term. But let's say we wanted to get a commercial evaluation on this property. If you saw my last video, you understand a commercial evaluation a little bit more, but that's typically when you have your property running as a business, as a service accommodation business. What you can do after a year of having the business is you can get a commercial evaluation on the property. And based on the amount that it earns, the evaluation is based on the amount of income that comes into the property. And there's a lot of places that this works really well. You know, Grimsby and cheaper areas of England, a lot of places up in the north, where you can sometimes double, like in my last video, you doubled the value of the property. In this situation though, it doesn't, unfortunately. If we get a commercial evaluation on this one, then the commercial evaluation of the property will only be 145. So there we go. They're the numbers. I think this property, in terms of being an investment, I think it is probably as average as you can get. I don't think there's anything super special about it, unless they can get the property for 100,000. If they can get the property for 100,000, it would make for a great flip, and then I think it'd be a good investment. Otherwise, 125, very average, you know, cash flow. Service accommodation works, but it requires a lot of work to run a service accommodation. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're thinking about investing and want to buy some properties in any of the areas that I show in this video series, then get in touch, because I'm reviewing areas where I have property sources that are finding just the most ridiculously good deals that you can find, much better than the ones you've seen in this video. So feel free to sign up to the website, book a call with me and see if I can help you. There's also a free analyzer just as a gift. And if you're enjoying this series, please feel free to like the video, subscribe, and put in the comments where you would like me to do next.